400 million people are going to be added to the urban space.
Data would be a very important fuel that will be used by all these AI models that we need to build.
5 to 6 years, we will have the first AI native city in this part of the world.
AI has really added strength to the digital world.
AI is now the buzzword, and we are hearing about AI in every aspect of our life. We have a very esteemed panel today to talk about how AI can impact the future of our cities. So first of all, I'll request Durga Shanker Mishra sir to give a brief context about how AI will impact our cities in future. Sir.
Very good morning to everybody here and our esteemed panelists. I'd like to thank the organizers to organize the very first session on such an important subject. Viksit Bharat 2047, you are all aware about the vision of Honorable Prime Minister. How AI-driven city, AI-powered cities are going to drive the next level of India's growth. Well, you are all aware that cities are engines of economic growth. The cities provide a dwelling for the people to migrate and use their capacity, use their capabilities in driving the economic engines. And the way urbanization is happening in our country, currently our urban population is around 52 to 53 crores, that's the estimate. But what is projected is by 2051, this is going to cross 90 crores. That means almost around 400 million people are going to be added to the urban space. How this can be used as a major opportunity for economic growth and for driving India to the Viksit Bharat 2047, that's the challenge. Cities are home to innovations, home to all kinds of startups, the new activities. How can that be used? Well, you all must have heard about the smart cities. Honorable Prime Minister's vision, under which some 100 smart cities through a challenge process were selected across the country. And they have come out with a new paradigm, how the cities can become smarter, sustainable, and empowering people to do a better work. Now is the age of AI. AI has really added strength to the digital world. How that can be used in the city space? Well, I'm associated with certain organizations who are working on using AI for making a big difference in the urban life. The first is on the urban planning, which is the base. We used to make an urban plan, which was, even we were making digital plan using the GIS system. But now this planning can be done in a much more productive, much more proactive manner. It's a predictive. Whether all the approvals, we had ease of doing business in construction permits. All that using the AI can become much more simpler, agentic. All that we were doing, agents can do, the AI agents can do. That makes the life much more simpler and better. AI can be used for transport and logistics, which is a major challenge for the cities. How this can be, we already have all modes of transport, how the transports can be seamlessly connected, how can your time on the road can be reduced? The road lights, there could be, how can that be controlled to give the best possible solution? The AI agents can do that. This is, so is the case for logistics. Now with so much of e-commerce, the logistics in the urban area has become so much important. AI can help in providing different kind of services. You already realize that. Whether it is for sanitation services, water, sewer, drainage, health, entertainment, various things, AI can be a good model for providing the services, and ultimately the citizen satisfaction, the citizens' happiness, receiving the quality of services, that is the most important for the cities. AI can be used for climate resilience. We have the issues of flooding, we have the issues of heat waves, the islands of heat waves in the cities. Can we utilize the power of AI in controlling that, in predicting and also addressing the issues of such calamities of nature? AI is something which, and it is already, lot of activities are going on. Lot of action is going on in various cities. A smart city was one of the first one to start these activities, and now our whole ecosystem of startups, ecosystem of innovation, that I myself personally associated in IIT, associated in IM, and I know the kind of work which is being done to this new ecosystem of innovation. AI can provide a facility which projects how the city is going to grow. What are the things which are essential for the people to live? But let's also not think that AI is going to solve all our problems in the cities. AI is only an instrument. Like we have the digital instrument, and that brought so much of ease of life to the citizens. Now this AI is much more powerful. This can be utilized for further easing out, for making things still more simpler. But ultimately we have to perform. The municipalities have to perform, the municipal corporation has to perform, the mayor and all those who are responsible for the governance, they have to perform. AI can make GovTech, the government technology, I mean, this is like various things can be facilitated, but we have to do that work. And India really needs it, because the way we are moving forward, our growth is almost close to 3% per annum. Our GDP contribution from the AI is around 65% plus, and it projected to go to around 80%. The cities provide a place for all kinds of economic activities and global capacity centers, various kinds of innovation. How can AI help doing that much better? But the challenge is AI also needs, we have to be clear about the ethics. We have to make focus that what we are doing is citizen-centric. There is no divide. There used to be digital divide, now there could be AI divide. Can we make things happen so that the cities are developed much more inclusive? The citizens have the right and access to the various kinds of services, and they can achieve their best potential. So this is the AI-driven city, from the smart city to the AI-powered city. We are already emerging as a leader in the AI impact. You had this conference, and this can be utilized. We can, the next generation, though we started a smart city much later, but the AI-driven city, the way it is happening across the world, India can take a lead. And this is the point of discussion in this panel today. So I would like to listen to the other panelists, what they have to say, and maybe at the end I would like to conclude how this AI, the new technology, the new gen technology can be made use for powering these engines of economic growth in India. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So you touched some very important areas where AI is impacting our lives, be it e-commerce, sanitation, water, other things. But most important point, I think, what has come out is how we'll ensure that there is no AI divide or digital divide which existed previously. So moving on to now Rahul, sir. So you have headed the smart city mission of the government. How do you feel that going forward AI would be helping more in taking such initiatives forward?
Yeah, thank you so much. First of all, I think the context has been very beautifully set by D.S. Mishra sir. And my journey in urban started sometimes around 2018, and that was a time when I first came across a document that was released by the Nidhi Aayog on responsible AI. Smart Cities Mission 2015 to 2025, the whole decade of smart cities basically started looking at the hardware and software elements that go into urban planning and governance. So the physical layer needed to be there. On top of that, the technology layer was starting to get built, which would eventually lead to better data-driven governance. And now, as we come to the decade of AI, over the next 10 years, how AI will help us move from a reactive governance to a proactive governance, I think that is the journey we need to look at. So when we talk about the building blocks of AI, we started with something like the Data Smart Cities strategy way back in 2019. And from there on, moving to the Urban Digital Mission, what we see that data would be a very important fuel that will be used by all these AI models that we need to build. So how do you improve the overall data ecosystem? And that was what we did in that decade of smart cities. So when we start talking about the data smart city strategy, moving on to open data platform, and from an open data platform, you evolve into a data exchange, because a lot of time we say that data is like the new gold, but I think it should be like oil, because oil flows, and when you see gold is basically at one particular place. So this data needed to flow, and that's where the thought of having an exchange which will evolve into a marketplace came about. We talked about the urban digital mission that point of time, because seeing where the world was going, there were two trends that were happening. One, as already explained by sir, about rapid urbanization that is happening across the globe, where we see ourselves getting urbanized, and second is the rapid advancement of technology, both in terms of AI, in terms of machine learning, robotics. So somewhere these advancements required the right kind of data and technology ecosystem, along with the physical layer, the technology layer had to build, and we had a 3P approach. Now when we go forward and we say that this is going to be the decade of AI, what would be required is the ecosystem that could leverage AI to help improve your overall city governance. Through this ecosystem approach, we need to focus on the 3Ps that had always been part of our smart cities philosophy. One was focus on the people. So you have to get the right kind of people who understand the world of data, technology, and AI. So how do you build that capacity in the ecosystem? Otherwise, it will be a very supplier-driven approach. You'll have a lot of firms coming in who will have solutions that I've done this and I've done that globally. So somewhere you need to understand the innovation that can happen in the local context, getting the people who understand this world of AI, and then matching that through the supplier ecosystem and the global collaboration that we need to build. Because all these things that are happening rapidly around the world, whether it meets your requirement, is going to be very important. So second P would be the processes that need to be built around this whole world of AI. How do you start with identification of your problem statement? And urban challenges, each city would have a different problem, different areas of concern. A problem of Varanasi would be very different maybe than a Panaji smart city which is there in Goa. So starting with the identification of the problem, you also need to see whether you have the building blocks that can help solve that problem using AI. Do you have enough data to basically solve that problem today? And what is it that you need to do in building that? We talk about collection of data, we talk about exchange of data. How do you get all that data together? How do you get the processes to ensure that this data is authentic, It is basically something which is workable, and you can work on it, and you are able to create a process that enables the ecosystem stakeholders to come and work with you. Third would of course be the technology platforms, and that is where you need to work more with the ecosystem stakeholders, both in the industry and the academia. So as a smart cities mission, while we were creating this center of excellence that Sir talked about in Kanpur, so this ARAVAT, which is basically AI for sustainable cities, that program is being funded by the government to create AI products and solutions that will help make cities more solution oriented and more effective in service delivery. So I think these are a few thoughts that I wanted to share as we move forward in the discussion today. So just the 3 Ps that will go into building the AI ecosystem is going to be very important. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I think you touched upon a very important subject of having data which forms the core of how AI will impact all the projects that we take forward. Moving to Vishnu, sir. Sir, NICDC has been doing a lot of work in creating industrial corridors. I would want to hear your thought about how AI is impacting the work that you do on a daily.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for the organizers. Thank you, sir, for joining us today, and thank you for setting up the context. And I just want to say one thing, that first of all, we must thank the God that we are living in the era of AI. The reason I'm telling you that I have personally seen, 3, the changes in the life. The first, I have seen the changes of the computer age. Then I seen the changes of internet. And this is the third change I am, I am witnessing the AI. So just imagine the world would not have been the same without internet, computer, and AI. So I just want to say I represent NICDC, which is National Industrial Corridor Development Corporation. It's under DPIIT, Ministry of Commerce and Industry. And we are into planning and integration and implementation of industrial infrastructure around the country on behalf of the Government of India. And to take the AI advantage, we have already started working on AI and the digitalization right from the beginning in our project, considering the international demand and domestic demand. So from last 11 years, we have successfully built 4 projects across Dholera, which I'm sure some of you would be knowing, which is a semicon city of the country. And there are 3 other projects in Maharashtra, Greater Noida, and MP. So there are other 12 to 15 projects at a different stage, which comes with the plug and play infrastructure, wherein we work digitally along with the, CTP, SWTP, and, the water, power, sanitation, movement of waste. So all sort of utilities, we have created an infrastructure, with the help of AI and digital tool. So that's how we are planning to implement the technology along the urban infrastructure planning, and providing the plug and play with walk-to-work concept infrastructure model with amenities of commercial space, residential space, and social infrastructure to the industrial ecosystem. I just want to say, I would like to highlight few data. Recently, sir has announced that Government of India has launched Bharat Audyogik Vikas Yojana, which is another significant milestone decision taken by the Government of India, wherein 100 industrial smart cities has been announced in the country. So this is a significant move to boosting the industrial infrastructure across the country. So I'm personally happy because, the rural areas, the semi-urban areas will get most benefited out of it. And these infrastructure will be enabled with the help of AI and digitalization. And the kind of work we are doing and the 100 industrial infrastructure which has been announced by the Government of India will not only have the infrastructure, industrial infrastructure development, but will also have the regional development around it. So 100 kilometer left and right, we are ensuring the urban development in our NICDC project. In this 100 industrial park announcement, the regional development will be ensured. So obviously the digitalization and the AI impact is going to be in this project as well from the Government of India. So I just want to say that, Government of India is willing to work with the relevant stakeholder, the private players and the government and the industry associations. And we are willing to take up the feedback and the inputs from all these stakeholders, and we will try to formulate the policies as per the industry's requirement. Thank you very much. Thanks for inviting me. If there is any question, I am happy to take it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for putting forward what NICDC is doing. Moving on, Mr. Sushant, you are leading one of the AI cities, one of the first AI cities that are being built in the country, and we are seeing more and more coming up. So I would want to hear your point of view on what actually are AI cities. We are hearing a lot about it, and how are these AI cities going to impact our future?
Great. Thank you. Great question. First of all, let me thank for this opportunity to be here. I would want to talk about AI City from the perspective of what we are trying to do. So as you know, so there are 3 AI cities that are declared or rather approved in India as of right now. What I have seen is that there is one declaration from Lucknow, there is another declaration from Bangalore, and then the third one is from Kochi. And then, I'm heading that Kochi AI City project at this point. So what we have done is, we have conceived a smaller city, which is about 500 acres. And that's part of our InfoPark's extension. That is the phase 3 of InfoPark. And this is something which we are building as an integrated AI native city. So when we talk about AI native city, so let's set that context right. So we all know what smart cities are. When you have one or more utilities or services that are automated using technologies like IoT and then things like that, we can name that thing a smart city. And when all the utilities and all the services are connected, and then the moment your systems become adaptive and orchestrated, then it becomes an AI city. So what we are looking at is so we need to have systems that adapt to the situation. Say for example, you have a weather monitoring system, and then that gets connected to your district cooling system. So based on how it predicts the weather, it can adjust your cooling system, or it can adjust your sprinkler system and stuff like that. Then that becomes an adaptive system. And then the moment all your systems become predictive. Say for example, if I know that a water pipe is going to burst next week, and then we do that prediction and make sure that so we do predictive maintenance, or we can even do self-healing these kind of utilities. Then we use technology to make it more intelligent. And then the third thing is that everything becomes orchestrated. Your lighting, your cooling systems, and then your waste management system, everything gets in an orchestrated manner. Then we can call it an AI city. And then the moment you build a city from scratch by building all of these things from ground zero, and the moment you build your technical architecture for the city even before your city master plan, then we call it an AI native city. And what we are building is an AI native city. So we are in the very early stages of that, so we are working on building the architecture. And how do we build that? The first thing is that we have built, or rather we have defined what the goals or what the attributes of the city are. We have identified some 8 core attributes. Sustainability is at the core. we are looking at things like, carbon neutrality or carbon negativity, water positivity, waste, zero waste and stuff like that. We have around 8 such parameters, and all of those things are defined. And then we look at building the smart infrastructure that can cater to, or rather that can build all of these kind of attributes. And then we build a deep tech ecosystem. And this way, this 3-stage approach is what we are taking. So we are in the early stages right now, and hopefully, the whole process will start pretty soon. And then within another 5 to 6 years, we will have the first AI native city in this part of the world. And that is exactly what we are building. Thank you.
Thank you for bringing some context to what exactly is an AI city and what we can expect in future. So moving on, Mr. Chauvin, we have heard from the administrators who are doing various projects. Now moving on to the other side of the table, where you are actually creating those services or products which will be used in these cities or infrastructure. I would want to hear about what your company is doing on AI and how those products would be helpful in creating cities of tomorrow.
Thank you, and good morning, everybody. So I'm Chauvin Mandal, the CEO of Velocity. In this panel, esteemed panel, I stand out because I'm not from the government. So we are a private entity based out of Auckland, New Zealand. It's a fintech. What essentially we do, we power smart cities by taking care of a very specific area of smart cities, which is the real estate. As we know that every urbanization has the backdrop of urbanization is the real estate assets. So Velocity digitizes the valuation process or the property data, digitizes that so that it can be created into an intelligent ecosystem which can be consumed by each stakeholder in the ecosystem, be the banks, the financial institutions, the government, the regulators, and all other stakeholders and the people in the city. So primarily what we do and how the data gets consumed, it's not a theory. We are operational in 4 countries. We have our primary customers are the banks because this is primarily used for lending. So we have 100+ financial institutions using our platform today. We have in India approximately 20+ lenders using a platform. Essentially, the digitization, as Rahul talked about, in any kind of AI or digitization, data is the oil. You need data. So not only data, but data which is standardized, then only you can run your models. Data which is accurate, then only you know exactly what you are capturing and if it can be consumed or not. And of course, that data can be consumed with algorithms, which we call AI today, or agentic AI, which can be then built into powerful tools, intelligent risk management tools, which can be then consumed by the banks and other stakeholders in the system. I'll just touch upon few of the things we are doing. One of the things we do is build AVMs, what you call automated valuation models. Essentially, today, as you know, the property records are in manual form, but when you digitize them, you exactly know who owns it, like in Dubai. In Dubai's jurisdiction, nobody has the ownership of the property papers. The property papers are always with the government, they are stored. You only get a certificate of ownership. So it becomes very simple. As the certificate of ownership changes, it gets updated in the records. Like, that's how they have digitized the whole process. In India, the process has started, the land records, and in some of the states now registrations happen virtually through digital mode, and that's create digital data. Once you have the data, you really don't need to do a visit to the property. You can actually run models to understand the value of the property, how the value of the properties or the urban structure is moving, and that supports a lot of other activities, the revenue activity, government planning, and urban planning. The second one is, which we talk about is digital twin integration. If you have digital data available, lot of simulation while urban planning can be done using digital data. So what do you call essentially, like Singapore has a digital twin, now they have launched the second phase of it. Barcelona does flood control using digital twins. There are countries which monitor aging population using data. So they monitor the usage of electricity and water in people's home who are little beyond a certain age. If there is a disruption in that pattern, they do intervention out there. So lots happening, and I'm sure Sir has talked about the smart cities in India, and we are also going to adopt that. So the second one is when you have digital property data, that can be used to simulate a lot of urban planning. That's what we help in doing. And the third one is infrastructure monitoring. So we have a digital module, essentially, which captures from the inception of a project launch, primarily for residential project and commercial projects, where you can monitor the whole project from the date of inception, what was the payment plan, the radar data can be imported out there. So, is the project on time? Because a lot of resources, as you know, that one of the biggest challenge was unfinished projects in India. And that's why government had to do a lot of intervention to complete those projects. So Velocity has a tool called APF tool or Build IQ tool, which essentially helps the banks and lending institutions to monitor those projects from the day of inception till completion. So it ensures that there is no risk built up, and that stabilizes the ecosystem and provided a sound financial ecosystem to the people, to the government and the financial institutions.
Thank you, Sean. You touched some of the very important things. So one of the things I could clearly hear out was urban flooding. I'm sure in India we face a lot of urban flooding related challenges. Some of what you do would be helpful for the country. So we touched very important points wherein Sir initially introduced about the whole smart city concept and the work we are doing, and then Rahul Sir touched about smart city and the importance of data. Then we heard about the work that NICDC is doing in the industrial corridor area. Then moving on, Sir told about setting up of AI cities, and we got to know the context of what is happening. And then definitely from your point.
And now we march ahead to a very special segment, that is the release of the knowledge report. I would request Ms. Chandrika Behel to please join us on stage, Managing Director, Exhibitions India Group, and would request our esteemed panelists to please join her and unveil the knowledge report on Beyond Smart Cities, a way forward to sustainable digital urban future. This report, ladies and gentlemen, captures forward-looking insights, innovative frameworks, and actionable strategies to shape the next phase of urban transformation. And with this, we unveil the report. Can we give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, on unveiling Beyond Smart Cities, a way forward to sustainable digital urban future. This report captures where technology meets sustainability for smarter and more resilient cities. Thank you very much, dignitaries, for doing the honors. And ladies and gentlemen, now we'll take this opportunity to thank our distinguished speakers for sharing their valuable insights with us. I would first request Session Chair Shri Durga Mishra ji to kindly present mementos to his co-panelists. Can we have the mementos on stage? Would request our esteemed Session Chair to kindly present a token of appreciation. We'll begin with the session moderator, Mr. Ashutosh Rai, Director EY, Sir, to please take the center stage. Shri Mishra to please present the memento to Mr. Ashutosh Rai, Director EY. Can we give him a round of applause? It's our opportunity to thank our distinguished speakers for sharing their valuable insights with us and sparing their time for us. Thank you very much, sir. We now present to Shri Vishnu Sharma, Deputy General Manager, Head Cora Fera and Marketing NICDC. Please put your hands together for Shri Vishnu Sharma. I think we can give them a more energetic round of applause. Thank you very much. We now present a memento to Shri Rahul Kapoor, ED Finance, Ministry of Railways, Government of India. Kindly keep the applause going, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Susant Kurunuthil, CEO, Info Parks, Kerala. Kindly keep the applause going. Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Sovan Mandal, CEO, Velocity India and the Middle East. Please put your hands together for Mr. Mandal. Thank you very much. And I want to again request Ms. Chandrika Behel to please join us on stage. Would request Ms. Behel to present a token of respect to our esteemed session chair, Shri Durga Shanker Mishra ji, IAS retired, former Chief Secretary, Government of Uttar Pradesh. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us for the morning session, and would request all our esteemed panelists to please come together for a group photograph. Kindly come together for a group photograph, requesting Ms. Behel also to join for the group photograph.